Good morning. Thanks for starting your day with a status hearing where we're just checking in with the body and the mind, trying to find a status. Does something feel good? Does something feel bad? Sluggish, energetic? Just trying to sense or ascertain the status and then listen to the body. What is needed today, right now? We're going to start with some mindful breathing and mindful body work and just work into what we're feeling, working with what we're feeling, and seeing what we can do with it. So let's start on the left, starting on your left side. So today I'm going to be working on side lying postures where we're working one side of the body. The other side of the body is basically resting. It's not doing a whole lot more. Or maybe I should say it's supporting. So let's just start with diaphragmatic breathing. So when we inhale, we're filling the belly. Exhale, allowing the belly to fall. And that feels a little awkward, lying on the side like this. Now you still have the floor. So this is going to feel a little different, but see if you can fill toward the floor. So obviously the left muscles of the body are going to be stretching a little bit more, and you're going to have to be a little more mindful of the right sides of the body. So inhale, filling into the sides of the waist. And then add the ribs. Sides of the waist, widen the ribs. Add the chest. Waist, ribs, chest. Chest, ribs, waist. And sooner or later, it's going to go right into your chest. Right into your shoulders. Waist. So I'm inhaling now. Waist, ribs, chest, shoulders. We really have to be mindful to work both sides. If your left shoulder is bothering you, try bending your elbow and sliding that left shoulder down underneath your right shoulder a little bit more away from your ear. We'll take 2 more breaths on this side, emphasizing the exhalation and the pelvic floor. So inhale, waist, ribs, chest, shoulders. Exhale, shoulders, chest, ribs, waist, all the way out, pelvic floor. Inhale, waist, ribs, chest, shoulders. Exhale, shoulders, chest, ribs, waist, pelvic floor all the way out. And as you inhale, gently relax. I'm going to have you walk your left leg behind, bring your right knee in front. Have a 90-degree angle behind and a 90-degree angle in front. I'm going to continue with that side breathing, but now I can feel myself bearing down on the outside and inside of my lower leg a little bit better. And when I turn the attention to the left leg, I find, wow, my foot is really tight on the outside. My heel pops up off the floor. So I'm going to, as I exhale, begin to press that outside of the left heel toward the floor. And I'm going to press the outside of the entire left foot into the floor. But I'm feeling that if I don't work it, I really have to make an effort to get that heel to touch the floor. So as I exhale, I'm pressing the outside line of my left foot, pressing the inside line of my right foot. So coming into this again, inhaling diaphragmatically, belly, ribs, chest, shoulders. Exhale, press into the feet. So I'm pushing down with the feet I'm sorry, I should say I'm pushing toward the floor and away. Toward the floor and away. So inhale, belly, ribs, chest, shoulders. Exhale, shoulders, chest, belly, pelvic floor, feet push down and away. Breathing up, exhaling, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor, feet. And see if you can't press the entire outside of the left foot down into the floor. So do a couple more of those, as fast or slowly, as feels comfortable for you. You have some very tiny muscles in the pelvic floor. And those are the muscles that get tight, and that is what is actually that little quarter of an inch distance between the heel and the floor is controlled, not controlled, but in a large way, you've got a muscle about that big that's tight. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Last time in, exhale, press. And release. And from here, we're going to come to a sitting position. And let's just change the feet. So now that left knee is at a 90-degree angle right in front. The right foot is at a 90-degree angle. So we've now switched the position of the feet. So now I'm working the outside of the left foot, the inside of the right foot. So as I inhale, filling the belly, as I exhale, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor, press into the outer and inner thigh. Exhale, shoulders, chest, belly, ribs, pelvic floor, inner and outer thigh, inner and outer foot. So what can you recruit here? You might be thinking, I'm a little achy in my hip. All right, put that hand down. You might be thinking, oh, it's a little sore in my stomach, right? Can you sit up a little taller? What happens if you press the thighs into the floor? What happens if you pull the abdominals in more actively when you exhale? One more time, in, and as we exhale, we'll gently release. We're just going to switch sides here and get all that on the opposite side. So coming down onto that side lying position and just beginning with that side lying belly breathing, inhaling, abdominals, ribs, chest, shoulders. Exhaling, shoulders, chest, ribs, abdominals, pelvic floor. And you might find it a little bit easier on this side now because you've kind of been warming up your body a little bit. And especially on these first breaths, try not to rush them. Really work your stomach. This is wonderful ab work. It really, really is. Wonderful functional abdominal work to help you with daily walking, daily activities, even sitting. This is even helpful for sitting. One more time. Inhale. And as you exhale, all the way out through the pelvic floor. And gently release. We'll bring the left inner thigh and the right outer thigh. Again, focus on that back heel, pressing that back heel toward the floor. Now, in order to do that, if you push into the heel, you're going to find you've got to work the inside of that left butt cheek. So not the outside, but the inside. And again, that muscle's a couple inches long. It's a very small muscle, but it can wreak havoc. Obviously, if I can't rotate my knee inward, I begin to get weaker and weaker in my inner thighs. So inhale, fill bottom to top, exhale, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor, inner and outer feet. Fill. So again, try to expand in all directions as you inhale. Exhale, pull it in, firm it up in all directions. One more time in. As you exhale, press the outer heel, maybe lift that knee if you need to, and relax. And we'll just change the position of the feet so that that right foot comes in front, left foot comes to the side. 90-degree angles, working a little more inner thigh now and lower leg, as opposed to emphasizing the foot so much. But we are going to stay mindful of the foot. So I like to hold on to my shin with my hand. Now, if I lean over, there's nothing wrong with that. But I tend to let go and forget, oh, you know what? I got a good opportunity here to stretch that obturator, those gemelli muscles. So I'm going to lean over a little bit, flex my foot actively, flex both feet actively, and see if I can't feel that stretching through the pelvic floor. So inhaling, filling belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhaling, pull the face back, shoulders down, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. As you inhale, soften the muscles, maybe stretching through the pelvic floor and inner thighs. Exhale, ground down. One more nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, pressing through the outsides of the feet and the thighs. And I didn't emphasize those, so let's do 2 more breaths. Inhaling, filling, exhaling, core, pelvic floor, inner and outer lower leg. One last time here. And as you inhale, we'll just come over onto the side. We're going to come into a full side cobra. So in a side cobra, stacking the legs one on top of the other. And I'm just going to allow my fingers to point away from my body. Now I can sink into my shoulder, which is my tendency, but I have the ability to lift away, and that's what I'm going to do. And there's no right or wrong, but when we're mindful of things like this, when I'm supporting my shoulder like this, it's in a much stronger position. When I'm not supporting it and not thinking about it, that's when I become injured. That's when I get injured, because the muscles are doing things they're not supposed to be doing. I have a shoulder socket, and if I lift out of my shoulder, I can tuck my shoulder in that socket. And now all the muscles that are supposed to support my shoulder are doing so. So I'm going to inhale nice and long. As I exhale, I'm going to push out from my feet as I pull my abdominals in. Inhale, relax. Exhale, flex the feet, push out through the feet, and lift out of my hand, out of my shoulder. So not doing a whole lot of special things, just trying to align the body, use the muscles the way they're supposed to be used, And notice how when the muscles are used the way they're supposed to be doing, it goes hand in hand with diaphragmatic breathing. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhaling, relaxing, exhaling, pelvic floor, push down and out through the feet. 1 more time in, exhale, pelvic floor, down and out through the feet. Now, let's step the left foot in front. And now I'm going to hang on to this leg, either wrapping my arm around the inside or the outside of the knee. Now that helps me bend a little more actively here. And so I'm going to rotate my hand now so that the fingers are pointing forward so that I can get a little bit of forearm work. So I'm stretching the back of my right forearm, stretching all 5 fingers. I'll take a moment just to look down at that hand, stretch all 5 fingers. Thumb, press the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, maybe push down into the palm. Rotate that elbow back. And again, we're tucking that elbow into that shoulder socket. Now we have a nice solid elbow. Inhale, filling through the core, belly, ribs, chest, shoulders. Exhale. As we exhale, all the way out, pelvic floor. And at the bottom of the exhalation, the foot's pressing into the floor, the hand is pressing into the floor. I'm going to encourage you to turn your attention to that right foot and point the toes so that you're stretching the top of the foot. So inhale, lift and fill. Exhale, ground down. Inhale. And that's your point. That's your opportunity to relax a little bit. Exhale. Now, if you make that effort and you hold that effort, you're going to start feeling that little burning sensation, which is great, but let it go now. Let some blood in there and let's do it again. 2 more of those. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Support the shoulder, press into the hands, stretch the fingers, point the toes, press that left foot on the floor. And as you inhale, we'll just switch sides. We'll finish up those last few exercises on the, I'm sorry, I had 1 more for you. 1 more for this side. Let's, we're going to come into a side plank. I'm going to switch out. I'm going to change the plan. We're going to go over the other side. You had a lot of, you've already supported your weight on your shoulder for a while. So let's go into our side cobra. And in our side cobra, we're extending the feet out. And we're actively flexing the feet. And this isn't easy. You're going to find yourself wanting to curl your pinky toes together because the inner thighs are weak. And so you really need to engage the inner thighs, see if you can make your feet flat on the floor. Now, obviously I'm not touching on the floor, but I'm trying to push through the inner thigh and the outer thigh so that both of them are engaged. At the same time, my left fingers are pointing to the side. I'm going to practice tucking my shoulder in the joint. Nice deep breath, filling through the waist. Exhale. Push out through the feet. Exhaling all the way out. Pulling the navel toward the spine. Pelvic floor at the end. Last time. Exhale. Engage inner and outer thighs and release. And we'll change the position of the hand. Step the foot forward. Wrap your arm around whatever way feels comfortable for you. So again, I want to point out that as opposed to, well, yesterday we were talking about opposition, where we were engaging both sides, but They were doing very different things. And I guess, and this is still a type of opposition. Um, but the non-working side is doing, it's not necessarily, well, it's supporting the other side, stabilizing the other side. So again, that shoulder is going to tuck into the socket, rotate that elbow back, point that left toe, inhale, belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, exhale, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor, push down into my hand and point my toe. Take a moment here and just turn your attention to your left hand. Extend through the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Press into the palm. Inhale again. Lift. Exhale, engage. Inhale, lift. Exhale, engage. Shoulder, arm, push into the foot, point the toe. One last time in. And as we exhale, we'll gently release. So now we're going to give the shoulders a little bit of a break here. And I'm just going to have you come up onto the knees for this next one. And just start by pressing into the tops of the feet, pressing into the shins to support your weight. I'm going to do those kneeling squats. So take a nice deep breath. As we exhale, as we inhale, we're sitting back on the heels. Keep pushing into the shins so that you can support your knees. If you're not pushing into your shins, you're going to feel yourself crunching in your knees, and your knees are going to hyperextend. So be very careful there to push and to engage. Now, as you exhale, press down to lift yourself up. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, push down to lift yourself up. Inhale, sit back. Now extend back with your inner and outer thighs. Exhale, push down with your shins. Inhale, extend back. And notice the more you drop your back, and the more you line your back up, the more work you're going to get with this exercise. Inhale, extend backward. Exhale, ground down. Let's do 3 more of those. Here's 3. Extend backward actively. Exhale, ground down. And 2, reach, 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 reach. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Nice wide barrel core because you're expanding in all directions. Exhale. Everything contracts in all different directions. Let's come down onto the back. And I want to do one last exercise for the abdominals. And this one's going to look like a traditional sit-up. I'm not a big lover of repetitions because it's easy to get sloppy. So we're going to just extend the right leg, bring the hands behind the back, behind the head, and just bring the left knee into the chest. Now, it's real easy to crunch over, and there's no problem with that. There's no problem with that. However, if you do, regardless of where your upper body is, engage your right leg, press it into the floor so that you're stabilizing your body. Engage your entire lower back, and then use your left foot the sole of your foot to pull the knee back. The left foot is pulling the knee back. The right foot is pushing the knee out. And if you rest your hands on your hips, I'm finding I'm shifting my hips, which is not really what I want to do because I'm not getting as much work on that left side as I could. So let's do 2 more breaths. Inhale, fill. Exhale, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor, feet. Inhale, pelvic floor, belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, all the way down, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor, feet, and relax. We'll just switch sides here. Flex the left foot. And that should feel pretty good after what we just did. And then you can flex the right foot, bring it in. I'm going to check my hips real quick. And notice too, you may find your knee wanting to turn out to the side. Again, it's fine. Know though that that's probably happening because you're tight on your outer thigh. Again, nothing wrong. Just be mindful of what's happening. So hands are going to come behind the head. Inhale. Belly, ribs, chest, shoulders. Exhale, shoulders, chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Push out through the entire surface of both feet. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And we're going to hold this for just a second. And I want to emphasize the idea of engaging the body versus clenching the body. If you're getting tight and you're like, come on, suck it up, and you're gritting your face and everything like that, drop your head. Ease up a little bit so that you can engage without tensing. And then relax. And extend your legs. And come down to the floor for final Shavasana. So when we come into final Shavasana, we're just lying still and being silent. That's all we're doing. Now, if I said lie still and be silent and don't think of a thing, bling. So lie still and be silent. Go inside your body and just feel around in there. Take a walk down to the bottom of your foot, your left foot and your right foot. The outsides of the feet and the inside edges of the feet. The inside edges of the calf and lower leg. The outside edges of the calf and the lower leg. The back of the calf. The back of the thighs. The outer thighs and the inner thighs. Again, the outer thighs and the inner thighs. The outer thighs and the inner thighs. The right shoulder and the left shoulder. The right upper arm and the left upper arm. What speaks to you? What is most noticeable to you? Whatever it is, just go there and see what happens. Something about shining the light of your attention on areas of pain or areas that have been injured or areas that have been overworked. I find the light of my attention, it can relieve pain. And the more I practice it, the more I'm beginning to feel the function of the joint. Once I begin to sense how the joint is supposed to move, it's much easier to move it in the way that it's designed to move. I feel like when we talk about different sides, we talk about a dichotomy that always in this culture ends up boiling down to right or wrong, or good or bad. Using your joint that way, bad, this way, good, that way, wrong, this way, right. Even in our personal lives. How about is not? It is this way. My shoulder is giving me a little bit of pain. My left shoulder is not giving me pain. One isn't good or bad. Maybe I used one a little differently than I used the other. But if I shine the light of the attention on both, or even emphasize the shoulder that feels better. So often we focus on the shoulder that hurts or the part of the body that hurts. What about the other side that feels better? Is it possible to feel into that and take that feeling to the other side? Because it's good or bad? No. Because you can. Because if I focused on something that didn't hurt and I tried to spread that, it seems to me it would be inherently more productive than the other way around. It doesn't have to be a right or a wrong or a good or a bad, just a logical thing. Yes, it would be good to pay attention to something that feels good. You've exceeded the time today. You can bring yourself back from Shavasana in any way that feels comfortable. Again, any way that feels appropriate to you is appropriate to you. Just be very gentle and mindful of what you're doing. Take as much time as you need. Whenever you're ready, you can roll to one side. Use that top arm to bring yourself to an upright position. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was productive for you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat portion of the YouTube page. I will be posting a schedule and some different variations on the classes over the weekend. So I hope to see you Monday at 7 a.m. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.